ensure that we don't get bids in processes that are out of line. And our belief is that the governments would be best to think about who's in this for the long haul and have a project that can succeed in the long haul. Equity takes most of the risk on commercial risk on toll roads. It'll always be the most exposed to the consequences of aggressive traffic forecasts. It's probably no surprise that, in my view, procurement processes should be structured to reward equity that has a long investment horizon, and will be an active participant in the management of the assets. Projects procured through a negotiated process rather than contested bids offer one way in which governments can prioritise selection of a preferred partner, ideally someone with a long-term commitment to the project and a view to active management of the asset over the long term. A US hot lane project has been developed on a negotiated basis, and I believe it drives a stronger focus on shared outcomes and innovation. That's a good case in point. The Capital Beltway project, I think we're going to consume something like about 9 or 10 houses in the construction of that activity. The original plans that were put out for information requests from the government had something like 400 houses being affected. So there was a significant win-win gain there for that project. So there is an appetite for traffic risk, and the traditional traffic risk-bearing model largely removes the calls for funds from the already stretched balance sheets of government. Government can then prioritise spending on other infrastructure such as schools, hospital, police, etc. The private sector should take appropriate risk. Recent availability model projects are suitable if there's not enough traffic to justify a toll road, but there must be some theoretical limit for a AAA government to choose to guarantee BBB credits to move assets off their balance sheets. While the current market environment might require some temporary measures to give debt providers confidence they can safely re-enter the infrastructure market, I believe the underlying value of full traffic risk-bearing projects will continue to prove attractive over the long term. Our industry spent too long convincing people of the value that our model delivers, and we still believe in that model. When we get it wrong, we can't just turn around and ask the government starts to bear more of the risk. We need to step up and take that risk. As I said in the speech earlier this year, private investment is all about taking risk and managing risk with a view to ultimate reward. If inappropriate risk is taken, then losses can, will and must occur. As well as addressing traffic forecasting, I also believe that it will maximise future value if future toll roads employ more normal capital structures. I think you can see a trend toward that in the equity contribution being recorded or being required in the numbers that Steve presented to us. There's no need for overt financial engineering. If you get the traffic right, the assets will speak for themselves. Projects that are based on realistic assumptions and funded with less gearing can still present a compelling value proposition. I firmly believe that realistic PPPs are still our best option for creating long-term value. Given the challenges faced by many worthwhile projects, however, our goal should be to ensure that the mistakes of the past are not repeated. Thank you for your attention.